But today I'm going to do a service on the outboard motor. I noticed when I ran it up last week, it was just sort of feeling like it was getting a little bit hot, and I don't know the history of the engine, so I'm going to do an oil change on the lower leg, new water pump impeller and housing, and then I've got some spark plugs as well to shove in there. So this, I did notice with this kit, when I opened it, the inside bag was a wee bit split, and there's no key. There should be a key for the impeller. So hopefully I can reuse the old one. Failing that, I'll just have to make a new one. It's only a bit of, looks like a little bit of stainless steel rod, so it shouldn't be too hard. And the other thing, when I first ran the motor, I noticed it was a little bit smoky, and I've had a think about what I did, and I think I actually mixed the fuel a wee bit rich. I've got the right fuel mix now in the tank, so it shouldn't be quite as smoky. At least it was a cock up, and it was in the right direction, so it was running a wee bit oily rather than too lean. So, but that should be all fixed now. So yeah, so we're going to do the service on the outboard. Okay, so we're going to get into the water pump on this. So we've got 3 bolts on this side here, 3 bolts on this side here to undo, and then this will separate and drop down. A wee bit of water come out of there. So we'll do these 3 on either side here now. There's a 3/8 headed bolt in there, but it's also got a screwdriver slot, and that's the gear linkage. So if we slacken that off, there's that bolt and a washer. So that's the gear linkage rod, and this is the water pipe which leads down into the water pump, and this is the drive shaft. So this is just the extension, fairly shitty in there. Okay, so here's what comes in the kit. Got some O-rings as we seal. Here's the impeller, and these are 3 different types of rubber sort of manifolds, I guess you'd call them, grommets maybe, to fit onto the water pipe depending on the model. Now I believe I need to use this one. I've cleaned everything, so here's the extension, and then that's all been cleaned. I used the old fuel that came with the boat, so I just used that to clean the worst of the crud out of it, and then I finished up with some of this brake cleaner. Now a couple of things of note. Firstly is on the shaft here, you can just see there's some wear there. It's all shiny and there's a wee groove. That's where this oil seal fits in the top of the housing, and it's obviously just worn a wee bit on that shaft. That's more than I'd like. The other thing is the water pipe comes down into here, and this is where the wee grommet fits. So that wee grommet fits in there, and then it's got a wee lug on either side, which then pokes out through this hole. Now I haven't removed it, but there's not one there. However, there is something poked down in there. It's wedged in there pretty tight. I'm actually wondering whether it's been pushed in when it was last reassembled, maybe, and as the pipe's gone in, it hasn't seated in that rubber grommet properly. It's actually pushed it down into the pump, so it makes me wonder how long it's been running like that. Like I say, I'm not happy about that wear on that shaft, but what I'm probably going to do is reassemble it. If that's the only issue, I'll reassemble it with the new kit and then actually look for a replacement shaft. Now the kit I got was a aftermarket kit, and I believe the one that's on here is an original manufactured part, just from the height of these bosses here. See, the replacement is actually lower at the back there, whereas that's higher. There goes the key. So there's that wee grommet pushed right down. There you go, that's how it should have been. It's a wee bit of wear in there, but it actually isn't too bad. I noticed the O-ring that was sitting on here was quite loose, and that seal in there feels a bit firm, so it's definitely due for replacement. And there's the old impeller. You can see that the vanes are a lot firmer. And there's the new one, and here's the old one. Definitely a lot stiffer with use. And again, there's a wee bit of wear on that plate. There's just a slight edge there. And there's the wear on the shaft. I'll measure this now and do a quick drawing so I can see if I can source another one. And if I can't, then I'll just make one. Okay, so just giving this a bit of a clean out with some of the brake cleaner. So the new housing has a new wee stainless liner, and that just fits in. So just put a wee bit of grease in that keyway, and that will just hold our wee stainless key for the impeller in place. Now I just need to fit the new seal into the pump housing. Just line it up square. Just give it a tap. Again, just a little bit of grease just to help everything go together. And then put the impeller in. And we'll just line the keyway up with this hole where the water pipe goes in, and that way when we fit it on the shaft it'll be easy to line up with the key. There we go, straight on, perfect. We'll give these a bit of anti-seize. With stainless going into the aluminium. New O-ring. That one feels a lot snugger than the one on the old pump. Then, like I say, I think this particular model needs this one. There we go. Just put a wee bit of this Loctite sealant just on the mating surfaces, doesn't need much. Bit of grease on that pipe. Oh, we've forgotten. That's the gear linkage in. Okay, so we've got neutral, forward, and reverse, and neutral again. Okay, so while the oil's been draining out of the bottom of the leg, I've just pulled the spark plugs out of the engine. Now these are a Champion QL77JC4. They're pretty good nick, they're a wee bit sooted, but that's not surprising considering I've used a mixture that's been a wee bit rich. Now with the engine came a spare set of NGKs. These are BR6HS, and I've just checked the cross-reference and they're the correct plug, so I'll be dumping the Champions and putting these new NGKs in. Okay, so we're ready to put the oil back in again. So what I'm going to do is squirt it in from the bottom. And once we start seeing it coming out the top, there she goes, and then we'll put the top bung in. And the bottom one. Snug those up. So there we go.